the vocational training, the academic training, the access to those global influences that will allow Indonesia to invest in its young people. So, goodness me, it's a real challenge, but it's a challenge that has the support of the United Kingdom, support of many other countries to help Indonesia achieve that.
What would it take for, the last time I checked, there would have been around 4,000 Indonesians studying at the UK, in the UK. And I see the UK as still one of the preeminent allocator of technological capital and economic/financial capital. If we were to compare our numbers with the Chinese, there's about 200,000 Chinese out there. If you go to the US, there's about 350 to 400,000 Chinese as compared to only 8,500 Indonesians. What would it take for that 4,000 number to go up to a much higher number?
Great question I asked myself. So take the example of India. In 2019, there were about 40,000 young Indians studying in UK universities. Today, that number has more than quadrupled.
Wow.
Nearly 200,000. So that's 150,000 more Indians in just 5 years going to UK universities. So there is an openness, there is a willingness to engage and embrace and to support what India is trying to do, which is a quantum leap in terms of the investment in its young people and the next generation. So for Indonesia, I think that there is already a foundation. Part of, and I know, Gita, you have a particular interest in English language.
I've been sounding like a parrot for the last few years.
But a parrot in English, so that's a good thing. Part of the way I see that leap happening for Indonesia, and of course I want that to be to UK universities, but there will be other countries as well where young Indonesians will want to go to too, is by investing in the teaching of English language. And so that's something that we as the UK, through the British Council, really focus on here, and supporting the development of curriculum by Kemendikbud, the Education Ministry, that has English language teaching within it, supporting, we do a great deal of teaching of teachers, teaching of trainers here to support the growth of, or the raising of the standard of English language teaching. So I think that's number one. I think number two is a real understanding by business and by government of the value and the comparative value of an education, those sorts of qualifications that you can get from an outstanding world-class education in a UK university. So that if I'm a young Indonesian thinking about making a significant investment, whether I have a scholarship or whether I am borrowing from my parents or the bank or whoever it is, a significant investment in my future, I know that I'm going to be able to find a job that's going to enable me to repay that investment. And so I think there's something that that we can do as government, as embassies. I think there's something that employers can do who want the very best talent and want that talent to be really well trained in terms of getting some of the incentives in place and encouraging young Indonesians to take up that offer. But I think that model of in 5 years,